All right, let's dive into something that's on everyone's mind in the world of finance right now. Generative AI. How do we tap into its incredible power without, creating a total disaster? It's a bit of a tightrope walk for sure, but with the right game plan, it's absolutely doable.
This is it. This is the big one, isn't it? The multi-billion-dollar question. Banks are sitting on mountains of our most sensitive information. And as they race to use AI to get smarter and faster, the number one challenge is making sure that our private data stays exactly that, private.
And this really lays it all out. GAI is a classic double-edged sword. On one side, you've got this amazing promise of revolutionizing banking, smarter services, insane efficiency, you name it. But on the flip side, a single slip-up could mean massive data leaks, fines that could cripple a company, and, worst of all, losing the trust of your customers, which you might never get back.
So before we can talk about a solution, we really have to get clear on the problem. What are the specific dangers that are hiding in the shadows when banks start plugging their data into these super powerful AI models?
Okay, here are the 4 horsemen of GAI risk. The first one's obvious, your personal info. ID numbers, bank accounts, getting exposed. Then you've got the legal nightmare of trying to follow all these complex privacy laws like GDPR. Third is the black box problem. If an AI denies someone a loan, the bank has to be able to explain why. And if they can't, big trouble. And finally, you've got hackers getting clever with direct attacks, like prompt injection, where they basically trick the AI into spilling secrets it's supposed to protect.
So yeah, the risks are serious. But the good news is, the solution isn't some impossibly complex secret. It's actually pretty elegant. The best way to think about it is this. We're not just writing a few new rules. We're building a fortress, a complete digital fortress to keep the data safe.
And this fortress stands on 4 strong pillars. First, you need a solid plan, a blueprint. That's your governance. Then you need strong walls and secure gates. That's your technology. Inside the walls, you need a clear set of laws that everyone follows. That's compliance. And finally, you need sharp, vigilant guards who know what to look out for. And that's education.
So let's start with those first 2 pillars. We're going to look at the blueprint for our fortress, the rules of the road, and then the actual high-tech walls we're going to build to make sure everyone follows them.
It all starts right here. Governance 101. You have to know what you're protecting. You can't just have one blanket rule for all your data. It needs to be classified. Is it public info? Great, the AI can probably use that. But is it top secret, like a customer's private financial history? Well, that should never get anywhere near a general-purpose AI, period.
So here's the big question. How do you let an AI learn from sensitive data without actually seeing it? Well, it all starts with the raw material. Real customer information, just like this. This is the treasure we need to protect.
And this is where the magic happens. Before that data ever reaches the AI, it goes through a heavy-duty anonymization process. Think of it like scrambling a secret code. We're talking powerful stuff, like masking key details and using serious encryption to make the information totally unreadable to anyone or any AI that doesn't have the key.
And voila! This is what comes out the other side. The AI doesn't see John Doe, it sees user 7B. It gets to see all the patterns, the structure, the behavior, all the juicy stuff it needs to learn, but none of the actual personal info. This is safe synthetic data, and it is a total game changer for training AI responsibly.
The other critical piece of our tech pillar is this, a zero-trust architecture. The old way of thinking was, if you're inside our network, you must be a friend. Not anymore. Zero trust is like having a tough security guard at every single door inside the fortress, not just the front gate. It assumes nobody is to be trusted and checks your credentials every single time you try to do anything.
But look, even the best tech in the world isn't enough on its own. The strongest fortress can still be taken down from the inside. That's why these last 2 pillars, the rule of law and the people guarding the walls, are every bit as critical.
When we talk about compliance, we're talking about the law. And these laws are complex, they're different everywhere you go, and the penalties for getting it wrong are massive. This isn't just about best practices, it's about staying on the right side of the law, which is absolutely non-negotiable.
And a really powerful idea that you'll find in almost all of these laws is the principle of data minimization. It's so simple but so important. The safest data is the data you don't have in the first place. So only collect what you truly need, only use it for what you said you'd use it for, and get rid of it as soon as you can.
And that brings us to the final, and maybe the most important pillar, the people. You can have the best tech and the best rules, but one person making one bad click can bring the whole thing down. This is why you have to build a human firewall. That means constant training, running drills, and building a culture where security is everyone's job. Every single person becomes a guard on the wall.
So we've got our 4 pillars. We know what our fortress needs to look like. Now, the big question. How do you actually start building it? Let's lay out a clear 5-step roadmap that any organization can start using today.
This roadmap gives you a practical way forward. First, you assess, know your data, where it is, and where it's going. Second, you establish your policies based on that knowledge. Third, you implement the tech, all the tools we've been talking about. Fourth, you train your people. And fifth, and this is so important, you never, ever stop monitoring. Security isn't a project you finish, it's a process you live every day.
And that really says it all, doesn't it? The incredible promise of generative AI is real, it's powerful, and it's coming fast. But that promise can only ever be truly unlocked if it's built on an unshakable foundation of security and trust. It's not a choice between innovation and safety. It's about understanding that you simply can't have one without the other.